Welcome to Thankful and Thriving Thursday, where big kids can do big things.
Today we are introducing Miss Payne and her dog, Barnett.
Okay, everybody, yay! All right, Miss Payne, welcome. Would you like to just start with introducing yourself, and then we'll take some questions?
Yep. So my name is Mrs. Payne, and I used to be a teacher here a couple years ago, but now I'm home with my kids. So I miss being here. I don't know any of you. Usually I know most of the kids, but I don't know any of you because I haven't been here in a couple years. So I have 3 kids at home, and my oldest is named Blake, and this is Blake's service dog. So the dog is not for me, the dog is for my oldest son, Blake. So he helps us Blake has something called epilepsy. And so sometimes in the middle of the night, Blake needs us, but guess what? He can't tell us that he needs us when that's happening. And so we got Barnett to work for us when my son needs help. So sometimes when he's sleeping, his brain just kind of goes a little bit crazy, and he needs us to be there with him. And so in order for us to know that he needs help, we had to have something to let us know that he needed help, because what am I doing in the middle of the night? Sleeping, right? Just like you guys. And so if I'm sleeping, do I know that anything's happening? No. And so I need something to alert me that Blake needs my help. And so that is what Barnett does. So if Blake is having something going on, Barnett barks for us, and then he wakes my husband and I up so that we can go in and help Blake. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So sometimes Blake also needs a little bit of help because he has a hard time when he gets really, really upset. Do any of you get upset sometimes? Yeah. And sometimes is it hard to calm down a little bit when you're really upset? So Blake has a really hard time with that sometimes. And so Barnett is able to, sometimes I'll say, Barnett over. And when I say that, Barnett knows to, Blake sits down on the ground and Barnett lays on top of Blake. And it helps Blake calm down, which is pretty cool. So,
Wait, doesn't that actually kind of hurt?
it doesn't. You would think maybe because he's kind of heavy that it would hurt, but he kind of just lays. So if Blake is sitting down and I have him put his legs out like this, and then Barnett lays right on top of his legs. And then he usually just lays there for a few minutes until Blake is calm, and he can go back to doing whatever he was doing before bed. Does that make sense too? Yeah. So we had to raise a lot of money to get Barnett, because guess what? Service dogs cost a lot of money. And I didn't have all of that money just to give to get him, right? So a couple years ago when I was still teaching here, we, Mrs. Morgan and the other teachers in 2nd grade, they helped me. And what they did with those 2nd graders is they baked dog treats. And guess what we did with them? We sold them. And we were able to raise all the money that we needed in order to get Barnett.
How many dog bones did you sell?
That is a really good question. You know what? We think we sold a couple thousand dog bones. We had orders that were from all over the United States. We had orders from California and Texas and Washington. We had like 23 out of the 50 states of people who ordered dog bones, and I didn't even know any of those people. We had put out a thing about Blake and why he needed a service dog, and we were on the news, and because of that, word got out, and they were able to, people from all across the United States saw it, and so they were able then to buy some of the dog treats that we were making. So my husband and I and Blake took, helped with it a lot, and then all of the 2nd grade, and even some of our family and our friends, we baked dog treats for months and months. And I said I was never gonna look at another dog treat again, because by the time we were done, I was like over peanut butter. I didn't want to smell peanut butter anymore. We baked so many treats, but it got us Barnett. So when we raised all of the money, we turned all of the money in, and then guess what? We had to wait 2.5 years
For him to come?
for him to come.
What was he in?
He was learning how to be a service dog. So from the day that he was born up until August, when Blake and our family went to go get him, he was learning every single day what it takes to be a service dog. So from like really the minute that he was born, they started doing things that you might have in your house that he might not be used to, like maybe when you're running the vacuum, or if there's a really loud fan, or you want to know one that they did, fireworks. So are you guys afraid of fireworks?
No.
But you know who usually are?
Dogs. Yeah.
And so they wanted to make sure that all of the things that we might be doing with him that he was used to when he came to our house. And so we, like right at Labor Day, we took him to a fireworks show, and guess what? He didn't even flinch. He was not worried about them at all, and they were right in front of him. So right away, they started training him to be able to come and help our
Could
family.
he even like stand up when he got born?
I don't know, I wasn't there. But it took